I'm a little bit confused. Why do you have such interest in the local culture, indigenous people's culture, right?
Yeah, because it's pre-colonial, right? This culture was here before the Spanish came in the 16th century. So there were the Maya, the Aztecs, and all these very advanced people. They didn't have the wheel, but they were able to mine limestone and build beautiful temples. And they were very sophisticated in their own way. They had wars and they had a lot of city states, and they were really independent. They were really only connected by the written language, kind of like traditional Chinese. Because it's my understanding that there are many dialects of Chinese in China, but they were all anchored by the written language.
You're thinking too deep.
I know. This is what I do.
I okay. Okay.
But you asked me a question. That's why I'm interested. I'm interested in the people who were here before the Spanish conquest. Because you know why? They're still here.
They are failures. They failed in the war
Yeah,
against the conquerors. I know. So,
exactly.
do you think their culture should be respected? That their societies are not developed. They are not advanced. As advanced as the Western people, and I don't think they were able to develop religion or culture that should be preserved.
Okay, well, I agree with you. They were failures.
Yeah, they're failures. Yeah, they use the strings to make up a cosmos like religious stuff.
Right. Well, they
They-
had their own religions before the Spanish came. The Spanish burned all their books. They took some of the people themselves back to the King of Spain. Look, the Spanish had horses, they had guns,
yeah,
they had equipment.
yeah.
So it was very easy for them to conquer this culture that was already a dying culture. Its heyday had been 400 AD, maybe, right? So by the 11th century, they were dying out. So yeah, you're right. So the Spanish conquered them. A few remained. They remained in their small villages without education.
Yeah.
They were enslaved to the fruit trade. Uh, People have been fighting for their independence for a long time. I'm just fascinated by them. I find them much more interesting than the Spanish people. So no, you're right. I am. I'm white. I'm Caucasian. The Spanish people are Caucasian too.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they had to be asses. They could have done what they wanted to do, coexisted, but they created a caste system. Okay.
Caste system only exists in India, not in North America or South America.
Yes, it does.
Okay, never heard of that. It's
I know. They keep it very quiet. So at the top of the caste system are the people who came over originally and conquered, and they are now called the casta divina. They are the divine ones.
caste divine.
Oh, it should have an A on it. All right, that's Spanish, but that's what it means, the divine caste. So because they were courtiers in the realm of, King Charles or King Philip, I guess it was, they were of the upper class anyway. So they are referred to as the Casta Divina. Beneath them are the Mestizos. So the Mestizos are the local people that we were talking about who married the Spanish.
Which country has mestizos in South America?
This one in South America. This one in Mexico and in Peru, and P-A-N-I-S-H. They probably call them by different names. So mestizos are the people who were here who either got raped or decided it was a better life or fell in love with a local girl. They got married. So they became the mestizos, and they are the majority of the population.
In Mexico. Okay, never heard of that. Canada has Métis. It's the French people got married with indigenous people.
Mm-hmm.
They're mixed. They're called Métis. I think Métis is very similar to Mestizos.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, they're like mestizos. And then at the bottom are the people who are still mostly pure. Mostly pure. And they have a rough life.
The people who are pure, their life are rough.
Yeah, their lives are rough because they've been ruled by the Casta Divina. They've been ruled by the Mestizos, and they have never been able to advance for many reasons. Number one, they don't want to, maybe. Number two, they don't speak Spanish. Number three, they have to work in their fields all the time, their agricultural fields. Sometimes their children can't go to school because they have to work with them. So these people have remained in pueblos. They have not been recognized by the government until recently. So they live in tiny houses in pueblos, which means small towns. And they're pretty basic people. That's the lowest caste.
Oh, this is very sad. Yeah, I want to confirm the indigenous people, are the lowest class in Mexico.
Just like in the United States.
Do you support mixed marriage? My tutor on Cambly, she doesn't support any mixed marriage. Like she told me in Canada, the mixed people like Métis, even though they look like white or Caucasian, but they are discriminated by Caucasian or pure white people.
Mm-hmm.
She just told me that.
That she doesn't support that?
She doesn't support any,
that's not
especially black and white marriage. She disagree with that. She doesn't.
Well, I'm just the opposite.
Oh.
I believe in it. Why not? We're all people, right?
Okay.
I don't think that any one class I don't think that the French are any better than the Mestis or the people who live in Ontario, right? We all have a soul. We all have a mind. We all should have the same rights as everybody else, which is to pursue life, to be the best you can. If you want an education, get an education.
Mm-mm-mm.
But why separate white people from black people? I'm interested in your answer.
I don't have any answer. In China, we only have one race, Asian. We,
Yep.
but in Canada, I'm not familiar with the United States, but in Canada, even in Nova Scotia, Halifax, there are many people from all over the world. I don't mean there is racial problems, but as far as the marriage is concerned, you know, it's very complicated. Yeah.
It is very complicated. It is. We can talk about it another time. We're going to run out of time.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but if you want to know, I think that if men want to marry men, that's totally fine with me. What do I care? If a woman wants to marry a woman, that's fine. I don't give a damn. Their sex life is none of my business,
Oh,
right? So I feel the same way about black and white and indigenous people and white people. I mean, come on, you got to give them a break. I mean, no matter what color your skin is, you still have the same soul as I do. We still are made out of the same materials. That's all. No more soapbox.
okay. But Nancy told me, nobody, the white family cannot accept a black and white. The black family cannot accept, black and white. They cannot find somebody to get married with, you know.
It can be very difficult for them. It can be very difficult.
Okay. It's
We got another minute. Okay, so we'll put that on our list of things to talk about. I'll do some research, you do some research, and one of these times when we talk, we'll have a very frank discussion about the mixing of the races.
oh yeah.
Okay? Because
Okay.
we can talk about the Japanese thinking they're better than the Chinese and hurting the China. It happens everywhere.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm.
Okay, my friend, shall we call it a night or shall we give it 20? Let's give it 20 more seconds.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
I love talking to you. You let me talk all the time.
Me too. Me too. I like talking with you.
Thank you. Okay, kiddo, I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.